All right, lovers of freedom, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Yeah, welcome to this YouTube channel. You know, this is the only YouTube channel where you get to understand what is actually happening in Biafra land and everything that have to do with the Biafra movement. Look at what is happening in the north. Just yesterday, a principal was killed, unalived by these so-called bandits. All the whole students in the school were kidnapped by these so-called bandits. This just happened yesterday in Kebbi. See, the Nigerian government need to realize this, and before it gets too late, they need to realize this, that the only solution to Nigerian problem is division. The Nigerian state needs to divide. Look at a whole school filled with Christians, secondary school filled with Christians. The principal was adopted and killed immediately. These bandits attacked these schools. Where was the military personnel? Where was the police? Where was the DSS? All these soldiers that have been deployed to Biafra land, all these soldiers, thousands of soldiers being funded by these so-called Southeast governors that are being sent to Biafra land to unalive innocent Biafrans, destroy markets, destroy homes, to fight insurgency, fight the People's Army. These are soldiers that are supposed to be in Kebbi, Katsina, Kanu, to protect innocent lives over there. Just yesterday, bandits attacked the secondary school. They adopted every student in that school. Their pictures are all over the internet, and I'll be playing the video shortly. And they killed the principal immediately. They shot this man dead immediately. This is a country we live in. A lot is happening in the north. If not for the sake of the media, if not for the way we, the local channels, have been programming and making sure that we get secret videos of everything that is happening in Biafra land, that is the whole way the Nigerian media and the Nigerian state, the evil zoo country called Nigeria, have been trying to cover up everything that is happening in Biafra land. Just check out, every time there is bad information towards the Biafran people, the Nigerian state are always the first people to spread this information. Even local channels on Instagram post about Biafrans, false information regarding Biafra. I know how the Nigerian government used the case of Simon Ekpa in Finland. They were posting back to back. Simon Ekpa have been did this one. Simon Ekpa account Simon Ekpa have been traced to this one. Simon Ekpa is a terrorist. Simon Ekpa, they use the media to deceive Finland. And now Finland is regretting it because the sole proprietor of everything, Musa have been sacked and retired by the zoo government. He was the only thing Musa achieved. The only thing Musa achieved in these 2 years of being the CDS is Biafra. Every time Musa goes on national television, it's Biafra. But look at what is happening in the North Central. Look at what is happening in the Northwest. So many of these politicians pay monthly dues. They pay monthly dues to these bandits. They should understand this. Before America have even started to name Nigeria a country of concern, America have done their surveillance and they have realized that the Nigerian state is sinking. And the only solution is to rescue the Biafrans, because majority of the Christians in Biafra land, the majority of the Christians in the zoo country called Nigeria are Biafrans. So I will be playing a very, very strong video shortly, so that you can understand what is actually happening in Biafra land. You understand why the congressmen are fighting so hard. Even just yesterday, Pope in the Rome, Pope announced and tagged Nigeria as a country of concern because Christians have been persecuted and Christians have been dealt with. So it's not an easy something. We, the Biafrans, this is the best time for us to come together and fight the Nigerian state. This is the first time we need to be united. That is why we are regretting why Simon Ekpa is not active now, or Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is not active. At least they know that if Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is released tomorrow, believe me, Biafra will come, because he will expose everything. He will make sure that he exposes the criminal activities of the Nigerian state in Biafra land. And everything, the genocide they have committed in Biafra land, the genocide they have committed in Aba, the genocide they have committed in rivers, the genocide they keep committing every day by day. Because the Nigerian media don't post it. if not for the help of all the local media. So let's not waste much time. I'll be playing a very, very strong video so that you can understand how the Nigerian government have failed and how American congressmen have accepted the letter sent to them by our leader, Mazen Nandekalo. So please, if you are just joining us now, do well to subscribe to this YouTube channel. Please share your opinions on the comment section. And please, you can check back our previous videos so that you can understand why we, the Biafran Intel TV News, will continue to give you legit information regarding the cause of our freedom. Now stay tuned as you watch this video.
This man joins call to invade the Zoological Republic of Animal Kingdom, Nigeria. Here are the news in details. Wonderful people of Biafra, lovers of freedom all over the world, you are welcome once again to Biafra Unite channel /television this very moment. Today's date is 16th of November 2025, and I have a very important information for every one of you listening to my voice right now from wherever you are all over the world. Dear friends and lovers of freedom, I want you to pay very good attention to this very news because it's very, very important. I can assure you, my people. Another senator from United States of America has joined call for the inevitable invasion of the Zoological Republic of Animal Kingdom, Nigeria by the U.S. military to wipe out the terrorists and save the lives of the innocent Christians in the Zoological Republic of Animal Kingdom, Nigeria. So without wasting any further time, we are going to read this news in details from one of the zoo media platforms, the Daily Post Nigeria, and after that, we will analyze it. And according to their headline, it says, Trump threat, Nigeria, one of the deadliest countries, U.S. rep. A fresh warning has been issued by the United States as another American lawmaker voices concern over the escalating attacks on the Christians in Nigeria. The warning comes from Congresswoman Nancy Mace, who said the situation is growing more dangerous with each passing day. Mace, in a statement released on Friday, stressed that Nigeria has become one of the deadliest countries in the world for Christians to live. Yes, the truth is coming. I want them to include the situation of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. That is one of the most important things right now in the entire Zoological Republic. And the most important thing for the entire Igbo race. The situation of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is even more critical than every other thing that anybody is talking about in the entire Zoological Republic. Is more critical both for the government and for the citizens. In fact, what makes the situation more critical than every other thing, even more than the oil now, is because it's a win-win and lose-lose situation. You understand? The zoo doesn't want to lose and Biafra cannot lose. So it's a win-win and lose-lose situation for every individual on so many different perspectives. You understand? But I don't like the way they try to, outsiders are trying to play down on the matter. Because this is the most critical matter in the zoo for all people. Oh, well, if I don't want to go deep into it. Because the zoo releasing Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and Mazi Nnamdi Kanu being in the custody or even imprisoning him. These are lose-lose and win-win situation for all people. So it is very critical for America to ignore. You understand? I know I don't want to go deep into it because this is not a live broadcast. I don't want to take time. Now, she noted that the pattern has persisted without any decisive response from the current U.S. administration. The lawmaker also faulted former President Joe Biden for changing America's approach to the crisis. You see, I said it last time I was on live broadcast. The zoo was a country of particular concern in America. It was recorded. Then Joe Biden came as the president because of the massive and financial support given to Joe Biden during his campaign by the federal government of the zoo under Muhammadu Buhari's administration. they did them a favor by removing the zoo from the countries of particular concern in America. So the moment Donald Trump came back in power, he returned the zoo as country of particular concern. And it shouldn't end there. There should be a lot of sanctions, not only on the politicians of the zoo, because they are all terrorists, but also on the zoo itself. There should be a heavy sanction on the zoo for violating all the international treaties that they entered on the human rights. They have violated it all. And America and other world powers shouldn't be paying deaf ears and turning blind eyes on these very critical matters. Nigeria has violated all the internationally recognized human rights laws. They have violated it, both within Nigeria and outside Nigeria, and shouldn't be taken for granted. That is the reality. Only country that will go outside the country and kidnap somebody, extraordinarily rendition him to Nigeria, and stand to try him in a law court. You understand? So look into it, America. According to her, meanwhile, President Biden removed Nigeria from the country of particular concern list. You see? Did I lie? I never lied. To be honest with you, we are reading this together. I haven't read it before. I only saw the headline and decided that yes, this very news is worthy to be broadcasted. You understand? So now you can see. She praised President Donald Trump for taking a tougher position on international religious freedom. I love that. I love what I'm seeing. In her words, President Trump is working to reverse those decisions. 45/47 remains one of the most consequential presidents in American history. Her remarks come at a time when discussions in Washington have intensified over how the U.S. should respond to claims of targeted unaliving and persecution of Christians in the Zoological Republic of Animal Kingdom, Nigeria. Now it is in the open that America is taking this very matter very, very seriously. They are not joking with it. They are not really joking with it. And the zoo is in a very precarious moment. The situation in the zoo at the moment is very, very critical, and this is the time to act. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is battling it. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is fighting. He has taken this matter to both Supreme Court and the Appeal Court. He has also sued Nigeria Medical Association, NMA. You understand? So, because of the fake medical result that they used in court to deny Mazi Nnamdi Kanu the opportunity to go to the hospital to take care of himself. Imagine in a situation whereby the Nigeria Medical Association, which is supposed to be an independent body on its own, bowing to pressure by the zoo government, the murderous Nigerian government pressurizing the Nigeria Medical Association to write a fake result over the health of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, just to keep him in perpetual suppression. Now, I want you to understand the situation here. Why I'm talking about Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, because this very news is about America and Nigeria. So why I'm talking about Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, I am bringing it to their notice, because this should be the thing taking center stage at the moment in world politics. The situation of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu shouldn't be taken for granted, shouldn't be swept under the carpet. As you talk about the Christians in the zoo, include the treatment of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu there. He's a Christian as well. A Christian man kidnapped all the way in Kenya by Buhari's administration and forcefully brought back to Nigeria, trying to try him in the court and jail him illegally. So this type of situation shouldn't be allowed by states, by countries like America, all these world powers, no matter the influence of Britain, because I know that United Kingdom is the one pulling the strings, not even Nigeria, because Fulani on their own do not have the capacity to trample an Igbo man under their feet. They don't have the capacity. So it is Britain pulling the strings. So no matter the influence of Britain in Committee of Nations, America as world power should stand firm, should stand on what is right, should make sure that the human rights laws across the globe is respected. Stop sweeping this under the carpet. because this is going to blow up. This is going to blow up, and if it blows up, it's going to affect everybody. It's going to affect all countries in the world. It's going to blow up big time very, very soon. Thank you, my people. To Salo Numozia and make it go viral.
Boko Haram should lay their arms unconditionally and be accepted in the community. Opportunities are out there for them. They can be rehabilitated. An ex-Boko Haram stands having laid his arms and comes back, turns his way away from his negativity. He stands to be a president of...
And federal government dealings with terrorists on Christian massacre in the Zoological Republic of Animal Kingdom, Nigeria. Hear the news in details. Wonderful people of Biafra, lovers of freedom all over the world, you are welcome once again to Biafra Unite channel /television this very moment. Today's date is 14th of November 2025, and I have breaking information for every one of you listening to my voice right now from wherever you are all over the world. Dear friends and lovers of freedom, I want you to pay very good attention to this very news, because it's very, very important. I can assure you, my people. Soldiers of the Zoological Republic of Animal Kingdom Nigerian Army have come out to confess, and they have said, or should I say, they have indicted the army of the zoo and the federal government of the Zoological Republic of Animal Kingdom Nigeria over their dealings with so-called repentant Boko Haram to massacre and annihilate the innocent Christians in the Zoological Republic of Animal Kingdom Nigeria. I do not want to talk too much. We are going to read together in details. As you can see on your screen, I'll be reading from Sahara Reporters, one of Nigeria's media platforms. I want this very news to get to America. In fact, I want Donald Trump to see it. So those of you Nigerians in America, the lovers of freedom in America, and then the Biafrans in America, it is your duty, you are under obligation to share this very news, especially those of you on Facebook. You must make sure that you share this very broadcast for it to get to Donald Trump. Very, very, very important for them to understand what is going on. Now, this is not propaganda. It's not from me. Sahara Reporters is owned by a former Nigerian presidential candidate. It has nothing to do with Biafra matters, right? This is strictly authentic news from Nigeria. And it is very, very important to note that this very platform, Sahara Reporters, cannot report anything negative against Nigeria. It is not possible because the owner of this platform is once a presidential candidate of Nigeria. You understand? So you must understand this. Therefore, anything that they report that goes against the zoo, it is authentic, 100%. Now, you all know what has been happening, in the zoo between America and Nigeria, how Donald Trump and the American army is preparing to come and take the bull by its horn. But now we have more confession, and this very confession from zoo soldiers, Nigerian army officers, is going to help America government and the American army to know how they are, how things are going, and also to prepare themselves for battles ahead. And according to their headline, they said, exclusive soldiers raise alarm as Nigerian army forces them to work with repentant Boko Haram fighters they don't trust. Remember that. They don't trust. Now let's read. According to multiple military forces who spoke exclusively to Sahara Reporters, the soldiers said their commanders were forcing them to patrol, share intelligence, and even live in the same camps with former Boko Haram members who surrendered to the government despite deep distrust and repeated cases of betrayal. Oh! You don't need much. I'm not sure you need any further information that they were forced to work with Boko Haram members. These are Nigerian military officers, so confessing. I'm not the one here making up stories. Janjaweed military officers are the one confessing. Are you paying attention? No one is forcing them to confess. It came from their heart because they couldn't bear it anymore. Look at it. That their commanders were forcing them to patrol, share intelligence. Imagine sharing intelligence. Imagine sharing intelligence with Boko Haram members in the name of repentant Boko Haram. You understand? Now, it is very, very simple, very easy to destroy the so-called Zoo army. That's why they are inferior. Let us assume that these Boko Haram members are just there. They just, send them as spies. And they started with so-called surrendering to the government. And now, which is the trend, which is what has been happening over the years. They train them for 2 weeks and recruit them into the military. And now they are sharing intelligence together with the original soldiers. Can you imagine? Remember, they are Boko Haram members. They are terrorists. They now claim to have repented and surrendered to the government. Now, the same government, through its military, recruit them into the army. Remember, genuinely, at heart, they haven't repented. These are just number of spies. Imagine how this is going to work when they decide to bring out maybe like 50 members of their group, and they claim to have surrendered, knowing fully well that they are going to recruit them into the army. And they are being recruited into the army. They are patrolling together, sharing intelligence together, doing everything together, living in the same camp. Living in the same camp. Imagine what their fate is going to be. That is the reason why Boko Haram always invade them and massacre them anyhow, because they know everything. They share intelligence, so there is nothing you can tell them. There is absolutely nothing you can tell them because they know it all. They are all working together. And this is the problem we are having. In the East, what they do is, after giving these so-called repentant Boko Haram members 2 weeks training, and they will be, recruited into the army, they will give them the official Zoo army uniform and send them to the East, where they will go and start massacring innocent people. The same thing they have been doing under Boko Haram, they will be as terrorists. Remember, as terrorists. They will now continue, which is to unalive people, massacre innocent people, set villages ablaze. They will now come into the official Nigerian military, and they will continue doing the same thing that they have been doing as Boko Haram terrorists. They will now be doing it as Nigerian army officials. That's why they come to the villages in the East, in Alibo, in Igbo land. They will come into the villages and they set the entire village ablaze and massacre innocent people. They will tag them IPOB. This has been happening for the past 7 years. Going to 10 years now, it has been happening like this in the East. And I want America to take note of this, because this has nothing to do with propaganda. This is reality. This is what we have been facing for the past 7, 8, 9 to 10 years. I'm telling you, since 2015, we have been facing this. Now, several Nigerian soldiers have expressed anger and fear over what they described as a dangerous policy by the Nigerian army, compelling troops to work alongside repentant Boko Haram fighters in parts of Yobe and other states in the northeast, Sahara Reporters has learned. According to multiple military sources who spoke exclusively to Sahara Reporters, the soldiers said their commanders were forcing them to patrol, share intelligence, and even live in the same camps with former Boko Haram members who surrendered to the government despite this deep distrust and repeated cases of betrayal. I want you to know that I am not the one who is saying this. I'm only reading it and bringing it to your notice. This is coming from Nigerian military officers, soldiers who are fighting, the genuine soldiers who are fighting against insurgents in Nigeria, while their commanders, who are the ones fanning these terrorism, grooming these terrorists, who are the ones supplying arms and ammunition to these terrorists, are forcing the real soldiers to work with the so-called repentant Boko Haram terrorists. This is unbelievable. This is unacceptable. That is the reason why America must get this very news. America has to get this news ASAP. There is nothing you can tell me if you are watching this very news, especially those of you who live in America. You are under obligation to share the news because Donald Trump must hear it. Oh yes, so that they know how they are preparing. They should know how deep this very impunity has eaten the Zoological Republic of Animal Kingdom government and its security apparatus. They have to know. Very, very important. Now they said, in our camp, we have repented Boko Haram members. We have repentant Boko Haram members. Those, he said, those ones that surrendered, they are working with them. They go on patrol together so that they can give them information about Boko Haram fighters still hiding in the bush. One soldier said, which information do you think they can give you if they are spies pretending to have surrendered to government troops? Which kind of information do you think they can give you? That information they are giving you is just a little, because they are the ones taking your own information to their original members who are the Boko Haram terrorists. Unbelievable. They said the source explained that the arrangement, which was introduced as part of the Nigerian military's counterinsurgency strategy, has left many soldiers uncomfortable and suspicious. And I want you to understand that this thing did not start from today. You understand? It did not start from today. They are now mustering courage to speak up because of the current, situation between America and Nigeria. That is the reason why these soldiers